Hello again. Welcome back to Basic Training. Sorry I've been away for a while. I've been dealing with my own guild stuff, and I actually had to step away from being a raid leader and guild master because of in real life type of stuff, IRL shit. Um, but I figured I'd give a little update to my research on how to properly play Hunter, and I think the thing that I finally have come down on, the side that I finally come down on, is there is no best way that I can tell you because it all depends on what you have. Like right now, I'm at 900 equipped, 903 in bags, depending on what I have equipped. And as you can see, I got my 4-piece here. I do have all 6 pieces um, of my tier, so I got all 6 here, right? The thing is, I have a few things that are better. Like I have these shoulders that are 900 that have mastery, haste, avoidance on them. And as you can see, my stat score from stat weights 2900.63 on that one. This one's 2802, and this one is 25. So I want to have this one because the has a high amount of mastery, and so that one's the best that I can have for anything I can swap out of my tier. I don't want to use Roots of Shadowsill as my legendary here because it takes away my leg tier. I don't want to use my Shadow Hunter's Voodoo's Mask here because it takes away my head tier. And, I can only use 2 tier pieces, so I'm using the War Belt of the Sentinel Army and Killjaden's Burning Wish. That said, you can see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legendaries in bags. I got both rings, the legs, the stupid blasting cap launcher that increases your bursting shot damage by 800%. Never used it, don't care to. It's got crit haste on it, so it's not even all that great for stats. It's not great for single target. It's just not good. And I have 2 utility ones, Shadow Hunter's Voodoo Mask and Roots of Shadowsill. Those are good for like survivability. They have some good, like the Voodoo Mask has some solid mastery on it, and I'd use that if like I wanted to swap out the War Belt for like a single target fight. But see, this is what I'm talking about. It depends on what legendaries you have. It depends on if you have your 4-piece. It depends on if you have enough flexibility in your gear set so that you can swap things out properly. It depends on a whole lot of stuff. It'll depend on how many traits you have. I have 44 purchased right now, and as you can see, one quick note on this: the first thing that you want to do after you get your 1 here and 4 here, you want to get at least 1 point, an extra point in quick shot to bring it up to 4 of 4. And as you can see, I have a +1 rank from my life relic there, so it's 5 of 5. You want to get your 5th point here with deadly aim, or your 4th point, and I got a 5th from the file of Fellblood. So increases the damage done. This is a raw damage done by aim shot by 8%. So your crit damage is going to be increased by 16%. You also want to get marked for death up to 4 of 4. The aim shot critical strike chance against the target by increased by 2% per point. So you want to be critting often. Anything that improves aim shot is great for single target. The next things you want to get are like your mark shot increased damage. There, the next one I'm going to be going for is precision, 4 of 4 there, and then probably called shot, the damage dealt by multi-shot. So in the AoE rotations, you're going to be multi-shotting and marked-shotting a lot, and so those are the next 3 that I'm going to be spending, or next 2. 1, 2. Of course, you got this one here, but I'm not going to take that until I get this Paragon point. But anyway, that all of it depends on everything there. All of those things matter as far as what you do. It'll depend on what trinkets you have. like Convergence of Fates here. I got a 900 Heroic Warforged Convergence of Fates, and you know the thing you have to ask yourself is just how much can you revolve everything around your True Shot coming off a cooldown. It has a base 3-minute cooldown. I have 5 points in my 5 points in the trait in my weapon, so it reduces by 45 seconds. So 2.25 minutes, 2 minutes 15 seconds. And if you watch, now I actually have macros set up. So like my aim shot uses my trinkets. So my Kill Jaden's Burning Wish will automatically get fired. It'll cast True Shot before it tries to cast an aim shot. So that's automatic all the time. I'm using True Shot on cooldown as much as I can. I don't have to worry about it because it's a variable time. Your 4-piece, reduces the cooldown or reduces the focus cost of all your focus spenders by 15%, but every 35 focus you spend reduces the cooldown on True Shot by 1 second. So when you cast an aim shot, you're using 50 focus, so that's like 1 1/3 seconds, 1.3 seconds or so. It's reducing your True Shot by that much. And your Convergence of Fates has a chance to reduce True Shot by 5 seconds. So you have these two different benefits going on there. You also have, if you have the boots, which I still don't freaking have, 7 legendaries out of, 10 or 11? And I still don't have the boots, the best in slot, legendary that I would have. The boots reduce it even further, and so your rotation entirely revolves around getting True Shot up as often as possible, which is why you should go for relics go for quick shot right there. So you want to get 5 of 5 or even 6 of 6 if possible, or 7 of 7. Get all 3 of these to do quick shot, and you want your boots, you want your 2-piece at the very least. And the 4-piece actually helps to reduce the cooldown on True Shot as well, because you're able to cast more aim shots during and all that, so you're able to spend more rather than having to build up all the time. And you're able to do it faster during True Shot. So essentially, it's all about spending as much focus as possible in as little time as possible, which is why I think haste is actually a little underrated. Like if you look at my stat weight score, if you look at the weights here, agility is the baseline at 1, crit is 0.99, so about equal to agility, but just under it. Mastery is 1.09. Then haste is way undervalued at 0.87, and versatility is 0.85. So haste and versatility are almost equal to each other at the bottom end. So it goes mastery, agility, crit. Mastery, then agility and crit are equal, then haste and mastery are about equal. And there's a large disparity there. I mean, you're talking about quite a bit actually. So if you hover over things and you see their stat weights, it'll devalue haste quite a bit. So anyway, I think haste is a little undervalued because the more often you're attacking and the faster you're gaining focus, the more focus you can spend, which means you can get True Shot off a cooldown more often. But the Simcraft stuff, I'm gonna trust it for now. Anyway, the talents that I've settled on as far as my main single target and even multi-target talents goes like this. Explosive Shot is only used when you need a burst of damage on AoE. For example, like on Spellblade, when you get the adds up, you want them to go down as fast as possible, so you don't really care about your DPS on the boss. With Patient Sniper, you want to go for an Explosive Shot, so as soon as those frost adds come up, you can just, boom, explode on them, But in general, for everything else... Oh, and Tichondrius. When the adds come up on Tycho, especially if the tank is holding the adds on the boss, and you're overpowering it on heroic mode or even normal, you can explode on those things and get them down quickly, so they don't have a chance to heal up when they're next to the boss. But even so, you want to get adds down as fast as possible, then Explosive Shot's a good thing. I know a lot of people say Trick Shot's the best way to go, but here's the problem that I've found with it. I don't like the fact that aim shot ricochets and hits all vulnerable targets for 30% while having true aim up. Basically, if you're going to take true aim, you want to take piercing shot, because here's the problem. With true aim, you can keep the plus 10, the 10 stacks or the plus 20% bonus on the target while still doing an AoE, because remember, piercing shot is it does extra damage to everything nearby. About 50% damage of the piercing shot hits everything. Trick shot only does 30%, but it's not empowered by your patient sniper. I guess it is. No, it does. Vulnerable does impact it. Here's the thing, though. The trick shot causes aim shot to hit all of the targets that are vulnerable. Well, if you have, let's say you multi-shot something, and then you mark shot all of them, which is a great AoE rotation. Now all of them are vulnerable. Then you aim shot. When you aim shot, the true aim buff gets applied to whatever the last thing hit by the ricochets of aim shot. So the last thing hit by the ricochets of aim shot, well, actually, it transfers it all. Like, let's say there's 4 things, A, B, C, D, E, or, that's 5. Let's just say 4, A, B, C, D. Let's say A is your primary target. The aim shot will ricochet and hit A and then B, C, D. Well, when you start off, you have 10 stacks on A, but then it ricochets to B, gives it the debuff for a quarter, a millisecond. It hits C, gives the debuff of true aim to that one, then hits D and gives the debuff to that one. And that's where it stays because it's the last thing that was hit. Then you hit A again with another aim shot or like an arcane, and now A has 1 stack again, and it's because aim shot has hit 4 different targets, and it's limited to 1 target. So true aim is made kind of irrelevant by trick shot if you ever have to do like a multi-target rotation. The way you get around this, though, is if you have the AoE thing going on, you multi-marked until those things are dead. And then you just do like a multi-marked arcane in order to refresh the true aim debuff on your primary target, but you don't aim shot on it because you don't want the ricochet. Well, in that case, trick shot is made not even worth it anyway. I mean, it gives you a 15% bonus damage to your single target ones. Now that, okay, you're done with all the AoEing, you're down to just 1 target, and now you can start aim shotting on that again. And you've maintained your true aim debuff at 10 stacks throughout the AoE phase. Now you're down to single target. Okay, great. You get a 15% buff to your aim shots. Essentially, you can't use trick shot for AoE damage with that 30% damage spread around to all the other targets if you're using true aim, because just using trick shot for its AoE capabilities makes true aim irrelevant. So true aim makes trick shot irrelevant, trick shot makes true aim irrelevant, and you're going to get about the same amount of damage from piercing shot anyway without ruining your true aim debuff. You're still hitting everything in an AoE situation. Piercing shot will hit everything within a certain radius around the primary target, even if it's behind the target. It's, if the tank is engaged with it in melee, chances are you're going to hit with the piercing shot. So, and it's like, it looks like, about 50%? 50% of the damage, and, piercing shot is increased by vulnerable. And the vulnerable, with patient sniper, you can get a piercing shot up to 160% bonus damage. So that's, 2.8 million or something like that? And that means that, you're hitting everything else for 1.4 million. Rather than the 600,000 that it shows in the tooltip here, and it's a single shot. It's not a loaded up shot, and this is the other bonus. You burn 100 focus with it, and that 100 focus, that's 3 seconds off of your true shot instantly because of you're spending 100 focus. It gets rid of 35 times 3. It's 105. To reduce it by 3 seconds. So just under 3 seconds reduction on your true shot whenever you use a piercing shot. And it's an instant cast. And it's a great focus dump. It's especially good when you can mark shot to make it vulnerable and then rebuild your focus up with arcane shots Arcane, arcane, arcane. And then the vulnerable comes up to 160, and you boom, just hit it with the piercing shot, right? And again, like I said, it all comes down to like what legendaries you have as well. So like for this, I actually have a weak aura set up so that see that shows one stack of the Sentinel Army one. I hit 2, 3. And that's how the Sentinel Army one works. Just gonna right click it off. I'm gonna go over to the AOE side and I'll show you what happens there. And yes, I have flying in Draenor now, or not Draenor, in Broken Isles. All right, so boom, 4, 8, 12, 16. There. And yep, it hit everything. So let's do this again. Mark them, and boom. So as you can see, my vulnerable, you know, and also that's the other thing is the patient sniper thing, or I'm sorry, the true aim thing only works with arcane and aimed. So if you're in a multi-target situation, you want to do like a multi-marked arcane, multi-marked arcane, multi, marked. But you don't want to burn your marking targets proc on your arcane. You want to make sure that you're not doing that. So you could do like a multi-arcane and then marked shot just to keep this thing up. Multi-arcane, marked, and then you do your aim shot. Boom. And it's hitting everything. Anyway, so here's the one thing I want to show you, and we're gonna let my cooldown reset on Kill Jaden's Burning Wish. It's done. And we're gonna go back over here, just do a single target Raider training dummy, right? And we're gonna show what it's like to just do a single target rotation with this configuration. Notice I don't have explosive shot anymore, so I just move it over here. This is here just so I can monitor the cooldown on it and see when it's going to happen. I also have this here if I don't want to trigger that macro. I can just click that a few times when I know an AOE situation is about to come up and it's off cooldown and I don't want to fire it off. I'm not stupid. I don't just automatically use the macro all the time. So here's how you do this. Here, let's actually clear this and we can show. Alright, ready? We start off with a wind burst and then immediately do a piercing shot to dump some focus. And we can actually do a true shot at the beginning too, to get this started off of cooldown and immediately take 3 seconds off it with a piercing shot. So we can do that, and now aimed. And you can see the time just going off this. This is 225 is the, or 215 is the base cooldown on this thing. And just the time is dying off of this thing. Just every time I spend focus. There's a 160, a plus 160 on that one. And see, we are 37 seconds into this combat here. And I'm not getting any procs there. Okay, here we go. Let's see how long it takes to actually use up. Boom. See, there's a plus 160 piercing shot. And we are at 1 minute right now. 1 minute into this. A minute 10 is usually about a minute 15 is when I can get it going again. And here we go. Yep, minute 15. Between true shots. Now, if I had the frickin' boots, it would be a lot shorter. The boots. Oops. Where are they? Every time I cast a damaging shot, it's reduced by 0.8 seconds. So just under a second reduction every time I cast a shot. And if you were to look there, that includes your arcane shots for building focus and stuff. So, however many times I did it, 17 there, there's 12 there. So, 29. Arcane, there's 25. So that's 54. Right, just these three alone, that's 54 seconds. Or, 0.8. So figure about 45 seconds taken off of there in that amount of time, in a minute 15. I'm already doing another true shot. And I had, 2 piercing shots there. So here's another thing that I've been contemplating. Now, if you're going to go with trick shot, you're going to want to go with lock and load. The problem with this configuration is lock and load. If you have the boots, it counts as casts, I would think. So that's reducing your true shot cooldown by 0.8 seconds each time you're using these procs on lock and load. But it's not spending any focus, so you're not getting the benefit of aim shots. 30, 40, 50 focus from an aim shot is not being applied to your 2-piece bonus. So you're not, 2 aim shots for free and 2 global cooldowns, but you're missing out on 3 seconds reduction in your true shot cooldown, right? And the reason you pair up these is because you get that bonus 30 or 15% damage to those free aim shots, and but you're missing out on some focus dumping here. Is all I'm saying. You can still go with this as well, piercing shot and lock and load. That's viable. That is totally viable. The only reason true aim makes any sense most of the time is because you want that extra 20% on true aim, and you don't. Or on aim shot, you want the extra 20% to be built up, and you don't want to be switching targets all the time, and you don't want to lose that because of trick shot. So your main AoE rotation, like let's say we got, like I showed you before, let's say we're doing Spellblade. The ads come up, and let's say Spellblade is Skull here, right? You stay on Skull. You do not target one of the ads off to the side. You want to maintain that weak or that true aim debuff on the main target. So the way we're doing that is, okay, we're fighting just her, right? You got the piercing shot, and then here we go. And then all of a sudden we have, the ads came. So multi-marked, 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 multi-arcane to refresh that debuff. Multi-aim shot. They're all dead, so you can start aim shotting again. And so you don't have those vulnerable targets anymore. And you maintain your 10 stacks of true aim if you decide to use trick shot. Of course, since we're not using trick shot, then you could do like a multi, and once the aim shots aren't going to be AoE anyway, so like multi-marked, but then you refresh that art with the arcane that's not procced on a marking targets proc. Multi, you can pop. Once they're marked, then you do the piercing shot, which all of them get bonus damage. And you gotta keep that true aim. I need to make a weak aura for true aim just to be able to monitor it better. But you can see it's kind of difficult to do. You got to make sure that you're constantly refreshing the that aim shot. Here's the other thing. Okay, so we got Skull is our main target. You could also, because I have the belt, we got multi-marked, and then piercing shot, multi, get some focus back, marked. There's 4 of them, multi, and then now I got 20, and boom, I hit with a 160 plus 20 stacks of the belt here. So that's a plus 200% aim shot. That's single target. It's not being split across a bunch of targets. So plus 200% because of the AoE phase. That's not being split. You're getting the plus 15% bonus to the primary target, plus the 200% from the war belt because of the AoE phase, and you're not losing your true aim debuff. The true aim debuff is still there, so that's giving you a plus 20%. It's you can hit for huge amounts when you do that, and by doing that aim shot after you get 20 stacks from the war belt, you're also refreshing your true aim debuff. So there's all these things to keep in mind. You're kind of watching, okay, I want to do that plus 20 stack war belt thing when I'm close to 160% on my vulnerable, because of the patient sniper debuff. So, let me go back over there. Let me try that again, now that my cooldowns are almost up. I see I'm talking and not focusing on my rotation. All right, so here we go. We're going to build up. Let's build up that true aim to 10. All right, it's at 10 now. All right, so multi-arcane, just to keep that thing up. And multi-arcane, just keep the true aim up. Okay, I'm at 20 now. Watch. Boom. All right, let's stop and let's look at the combat log there. Let's see what my aimed shot hit for. Now the base aim shot is 356k. That's the thing a lot of people need to understand. It's 356k. It's not that much. It all depends upon these bonuses, right? So true aim, patient sniper type stuff. I don't even remember what percentage my vulnerable was at, but it hit for 2.78 million here, right? And here, let's just go to murder crows, or just turn off a volley, so we don't have any of that spamming our shit. All right, let's try this again. Actually, I'm gonna just change it so that I'm not using my kill Jadens or my true shot at all. All right, here we go. Let's build up that multi shot here. Let's see what if we can maximize our DPS. There's 8, 9 stacks, 20 stacks here, 10 stacks there. All right, here we go, and now. Oh, fuck's sake. Let's try that again. 16, 20. Let's, boom. Oh, that was only 2.4 million. Let's see what we can get. There's 20. Oh, and I lost it. All right, let's build that up again. 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. There's a crit. 5.379. Yeah, 5,379,187 as a crit. So that's a huge crit right there, and that's going to be modified up, of course, by the crit damage. The critical strike damage dealt, is going to be increased by 8%. And the crit chance, you got the plus 10% there. Oh, that's marked shot. Sorry, 10% increased crit chance for aim shot right there for marked for death. So my crit chance is 28% right now, but there's 38%, and so we have a plus 8% there. So all of that matters. So if we look at the math here, let me pull up this. Where is it? I have to find the spreadsheet that I used before. Stat weights, Hunter stuff. There it is. Okay, so if we look at the remember back when I made the guide before for 715, my aim shot was only doing 315k. So now it's at let me see. Oops. What is it? 356,064, right? What is my haste? My haste is my haste is only 16%. 16.35%. My crit is at 17.78%. Oh wait, plus the base. Oops. 27.78%. So my aim shot here we had an aim shot plus 160 right there. But we had true shot, so 1.64 million, right? And I'm not using the extra bonus from that. But I had that plus 200% from the war belt. So if we take that into consideration, so let's just modify this here real quick. Times 3, right? Because the war belt, right? But then times 2.08, because crit damage is increased by 8%. So 4.5 million. There's something else I'm missing in there about what is adding to that. But that crit right there was 5.4 million basically. So just looking at that, that's what you're going for. Those are the kinds of situations you're going for. You're trying to set up that big freaking hit. And that's why patient sniper is huge. And it's in the name. You got to be patient with it. Sometimes you just got to be like, I'm not going to fire yet. I'm just going to wait to get that extra 10%, because that 10%, especially when you have the war belt, that 10% becomes times 3, because it's adding plus 200%. So that 10% becomes a plus 30% by waiting that extra half a second, right? So there's 4 stacks. I'm just refreshing. Now this isn't a standard rotation that I'd be using anywhere. It's just I'm trying to build up those stacks. Imagine you're in the middle of the fight, All right, there's 10 stacks. And now, boom. What did that show? It didn't crit, it kind of explains to you why crit is your number 2 priority. Yeah, 2.338. So if that was a crit, that would be, at least 4.8 million. So you see, that's the point right there. Anyway, I'm going to go over and do just a typical single target rotation with this and go for a little while and just show the DPS that you can do. Single target. And I'm going to use my true shot and everything. I'm going to pull out all the stops, get flasked, get fed. I don't have any runes on me right now. All right, there we go. All right, so let's, we'll just say we got a timer. 7, 6, 5. I'm gonna pot.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Two arcanes, aimed, and there's a 160 right there. Let's get that going. And then 1, 2, aimed. There's another 160. Build up some focus. Arcane. I'm waiting for a proc. There we go. We need the proc. And then aimed at 120. Aimed right after it. And there you go. Another, and then 120. And right after it. And there you go. See, if you start at the 120 with your double aim shots, then you'll hit that 160 damn near every time. It's 1.72 second cast time right now. I messed up my timing on that one. I got 3 of them in there because I started a true shot right then. Yeah, I messed up. Anyway, so you see, that's kind of your basic rotation. Now, I haven't used another piercing shot. Because I don't use piercing shot until I'm like about, if there's an AoE, situation going on. Usually. I kind of forget it exists. Now, here's another thing you can do. Like, if you're wanting to focus dump real quick and you know you're going to hit 160, hit that piercing shot right at 160, and you can focus dump like that. I also need to use wind burst more often. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm sustaining 600k. It's going to be bigger in a raid because you have like heroism, and a lot of fights have a lot more AoE opportunities, and Kil'jaeden's Burning Wish is nice especially for those. You also notice I've kept a lot of my other trinkets. I have I still have my 875 Bloodthirsty Instinct, which is really good. I still have, I don't know why I kept the Unstable Horror Slime. I still have my Unstable Arcana Crystal with the socket, so that's like one of the best in slots. But like if I were to ever get my boots, I would keep the War Belt, I'd keep the boots, and I'd trade out the Kil'jaeden's Burning Wish if I had single target going on, and I would, like the Bloodthirsty Instinct would be good for that. Or I would do the boots and Kil'jaeden's, and that's why I've also kept this 900 crit versatility Heroic Warforged with a socket Belt of Celestial Alignment, so I can swap that out. Sometimes I will actually do that on Croesus. I'll swap this out, and let me see. I'd go with go back to Eagle Talon Tunic and do this configuration. You see my mastery went up by a lot, my crit went up by a lot, my haste went down. I still have my 4-piece. And like I would swap out to so there's my second legendary, Shadowhunter's Voodoo Mask, mainly because of the stats, crit and mastery crit. And also, it's really nice on Croesus where it's like, oh, he did a slam, or there was a big green orb, and we're close to the end of the fight, and everyone's down to 10% health. Just really quickly hit that, hit that feign death, and get the quick 20% max health heal to help out the healers, so you're not close to death. Anyway, that's basically where I'm coming from on all of this stuff. Let me reset back to where I'm supposed to be. And yeah, so I'm at 901 now, 901.1, because I have that one. Anyway, that's basically all I got for you. I mean, I know I probably haven't given you any of the answers. I haven't given you anything definitive about what you ought to do. Um, but this is what I found to be the best, and I actually did a tryout with one of the top guilds on the server, and I talked with the number 2 hunter on our server, and the guy's really good. So this is the last thing I'll give you that will tell you what you need to know. One of the big problems I had with my raiding guild was they thought that, back before 7.2, you had to get to 54 traits. You had to get that last Paragon trait up to 20 out of 20 on Windflight arrows to get your like 14.5% bonus damage. They thought that that was the most important thing you could do, and they were running constant AP farming in Mythic Pluses to get those 54 traits, and they were disparaging everyone else in the guild who wasn't at 54 yet, saying they weren't doing enough work. And I told them that they were wrong and they needed to shut up about it, because honestly, that did not matter one good goddamn as much as getting your relics, getting Titanforged relics, going for the relic dropping bosses and bonus rolling on them every single time. Relics are the most important thing for your DPS right now in this tier. You'll get the AP farm done. If you've already gotten this one with you got the plus 5% there, you got the plus 10% there. That's the best you're going to do as far as that's concerned. If you spent a point there, and there, then you're fine as far as your artifact power is concerned for now. There's not going to be much else that's going to help you. The most important thing is this. Look at that ranged DPS on there. 12,930 to 12,931. When I tried out with this other guild, I was at 12,400 or something. I hadn't replaced one of my relics. I just got a 5-item level upgrade on one of my relics. Upgrading the item level on your bow. 916 is where I'm at right now. That increases the base damage. That 12,930 is the base multiplied by a coefficient that determines the base damage of your aim shot. So, if we were to take... son of a bitch, I haven't been showing all this. Yeah, here. Now you can see. I was doing like 600k on the trading dummy. Sorry, I didn't change over back to the game. So you see right here, this 12,930 to 12,931, whoop-de-doo, that determines your base damage on everything. So if we were to take the aim shot, this 379, whatever it is, and now, no, gosh, I have to change that again in the spreadsheet. What was it? 379,416 or 417. Let's take that and divide it by the actual amount of damage done by the base of the bow, and you'll find out the coefficient. It's easy to do. And, so divide by 12,930, 29. It is exactly 29. So every additional point of damage done by your bow gives you 29 extra damage by your aim shot. And then if you multiply that by the 160%, so, what is 20, was plus 29 times 1.6 plus 29. So that's 75 right there. And then consider that you have, let's say you are running True Shot and whatever it's called, Trick Shot and True Aim. If you got that 75.4, now multiply that times 1.15, that's 79.75. So if you got a plus 160 patient sniper with, and the True Aim, we have to add the True Aim in there, times 1.2, right? So that's 86. Every single additional point of damage that your bow is doing does 86 or 87 more damage in your aim shots. It matters that much. So there you go. There you have it. It's not about the number of Paragon points you have. It's not about the amount of artifact power you've spent. You have to get your relics up. This other hunter that I was talking to, his base damage was 15 point something K. It was 25% higher than mine. Now, I was doing, on Heroic Gul'dan, when I tried out with them, I did about 500k DPS. He was doing 1.8 million. It's incredible. Well, he started at 1.8 million. I think he ended up at around 900,000. 25% base damage, bonus. I mean, just imagine that. Take that 379k and multiply that times 0.25 or 1.25, and all of a sudden your aim shots are doing 1.7 million as opposed to 1.4. That's huge. So, lesson learned: go get your relics done. One of the most important relics that you can get is in Emerald Nightmare, off of not Emerald Nightmare. What am I talking about? Nighthold Trilliax. This one right here. Hey, look at there. Quick Shot. Reduces the cooldown of Quick Shot. Construct Personality Sphere. Mine's Warforged to 890. But you want to kill Trilliax every single week. It's one of the easiest bosses to kill. Another one that you want to go for is Star Augur. Storm artifact here. Right? Increase your aim shot critical strike chance. Right? You want to crit because you want to double up those bonus damages. Another one you want to go for is this one from Elsond. So Star Augur, Elsond. High Botanist has your life artifact that you don't necessarily want this one because it's a bursting shot one. But if you want to farm for a life artifact relic, go for that one. There's if we go for just artifact relic here, the blood artifact relic off of Tichondrius. That's a nice one to have. There's a storm one here. It increases mark shot damage, but it starts at 885, so you don't have that bonus, that plus 85, that 890 starting point. Foreign containment. So Trilliax has two good artifact relics to go for. Go for these bosses: Trilliax, Tichondrius, Botanist, maybe, Star Augur, and Elisond. I think, Gul'dan has that one. So, I think that's the one I have, actually. I forget. Yep, I do. 895. That's the one I just got that actually increased me up there. So, I think that's the only Storm relic later on. But that's a good one. Star Augur. Oh, so these two Storm relics are good. This life relic kind of sucks, but I think it's the only life relic in the whole place that you can get. Yeah. So, and this is where the question came in of why are we kind of having low DPS? Well, it's because we weren't farming things like this. So, this one that starts at 880, if you get that, Warforged, right? Oh, the other life relic was from Trilliax, yeah. If you get this Warforged, you have a good thing going there. Odin, or hell, all of them. You got this one, that's a pretty good one. Mark shot, blood. So Storm, blood, and life artifact relic from Helia. You should be clearing this every week, but we weren't. They were more concerned with getting their 54 traits on, so they were concerned about getting a 14.5% bonus, and each one was only a 0.5% upgrade. But you get an upgrade on your weapon, all of a sudden you're talking about, a significant percentage increase in your damage. So farm your relics, folks. Farm them. Look for Warforged, Titanforge. Try and get them. Trade for them. Do whatever you can. do all of your content every week. I mean, there is no excuse for not going in and doing an Emerald Nightmare heroic clear, right? If we go for artifact relics, look, there's marksmanship. You know, it starts at 865, but you have a chance to Warforge this stuff. You have all these relics you can go for, and you can easily re-clear Emerald Nightmare every single week. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to end this now. I've already made this way too long. Just to slight recap, you know, this is your best bet right here as far as your meme build. Get your relics, and just work on what you need to work on based on the the legendaries you have. Do your best, and I'll see you out there. Thanks.